Hello, and welcome. I am so excited to be here with you today. And I am also very grateful for this opportunity to connect with you, to share some thoughts with you, and hopefully hear some of your feedback as well. And as you joining in, I want to welcome you and say hello. Please let me know where you're coming from. Please let me know how things are going on for you today. My name is Jana Masik, and I am the host of this broadcast, Powering Unique You. And this broadcast is designed to chat about leadership. As you're joining in, let me know your experiences about leadership and what you think leadership look like. So I want to check in to make sure we are on. And leadership to me is really starting from leading yourself. Sometimes I feel we have this perception that the leader is someone high up with a big title, owning the company or the department, leading a lot of people behind, which is true, yet it is not all encompassed. It is not just that person that can be a leader. What the conversation today is really about you and I talking about what leadership is and how can you and I become better leaders, first and foremost for ourselves. And then as we become better leaders for ourselves, then we can certainly become leaders for others, those around you. And those people may not necessarily be at work reporting to us, and we may not necessarily be their managers, but we can look at the roles that we play in life. And there are many ways or many roles where you can exercise your leadership. So we can be a leader as a parent. It's a very much responsibility. It's a very much leadership. And sometimes as parents, we say to our children what we want them to do, yet we turn around and we do and act completely opposite to what we're saying. And at the same time in the workforce and maybe even the relationships, sometimes we say certain things or we express certain ideas, but then we leave and execute on a completely different level. So the conversation today is really about taking ownership and seeing yourself as a leader in spite of not maybe having a position or a title behind your name. And I really want to speak with you if you're just coming out of college, if you just graduated, you've got a good degree, or maybe you are in an entry-level job and you say, well, I'm working, I'm executing, I'm doing my tasks, I'm maybe an analyst or specialist, and I aspire, I hope you are, and that you aspire to become a manager or a leader one day, but yet you may not see yourself as such because you don't have a title behind your name yet. So I believe that leadership starts with taking responsibility and taking ownership for your life. You start thinking and considering that you own really the decisions for your life. And it also starts with this view of being responsible for what is happening in your life and what's happening in your career. Sometimes, or most of the times, some of us think, well, it's the outward forces or outward circumstances that drive whether I be successful or not. And we tend to blame either people or situation, or we tend to find an excuse. And by doing that, you making a disservice to yourself, because by looking for an excuse or looking for a person to blame or a situation to blame why you're not progressing or why you're not successful or why you are not feeling as being a leader, it is really putting responsibilities in someone else's hands or somebody else decisions for you. And I believe that leadership and leaders, they start taking ownership of who they are. They taking ownership of their life choices, and they taking ownership for their career growth. So that really a foundation. And then I want to chat with you what you think leaders look like. And I want to also maybe hear some stories. I would love to see your comments, and I would love to see your stories and some of the ideas that you think what leaders may look like. And also, if you find this episode helpful, I do hope you will. I prepared some good information for you that I hope will serve you. Please share with your network, and not just share, but also mention what really served you, what really helped you, what maybe gave you this aha moment, and something that you can implement right away. Just take one point and maybe consider implementing it right away. So to me, how I define leadership is a simple everyday leadership, that you and I are responsible to take an ownership of our choices, to take an ownership of our responsibilities, and see ourselves as being fully capable and see our potential, that you and I are leaders to ourselves first and then to everybody around us, so we can lead by example. So today is really about 7 most important skills. And you can go and do a lot of research on leadership. There's so many workshops, there's so much information, there's so much advice. What I structured this 7 most important skills is a lot of it from my personal experience and from my personal belief systems. And in addition to that, it is also from the work designed by Dr. Hartman, Dr. Robert Hartman, and he was studying axiology, how people behave and what decisions people make based on their values. So in fact, most of those skills are designed to be measured and designed to be see how and what type of measure of those skill set do you have, and how can you work on those skill set. And all of us are in this journey. I believe that we are in this journey of growth, in this journey of development, and we almost in this journey of maturity. All of us mature at different ways in different stages, and I feel this maturation and this development is a lifelong journey. So we all can look at what assets we have with our skill set, and then see, okay, how can I work on certain skill that really help me move toward what I want to achieve, right? And all of these leadership skills can help you achieve your goal and can help you really bring success into your life. And it depends on how you define this success. So it starts with clarity on your definition of success and where you want to grow. So as looking into careers, and looking into desiring of growing in your career and growing into more leadership, managerial or executive roles, those 7 skills would really serve you and would really help you stand out and help you be more successful. Okay, so let's dive right into that. And if you are here and you are watching, say hello, tell me you're here. I'm really excited to have you here live. And if you're joining and watching a replay, I'm also very excited that you are giving your time and educating yourself. And I'm here to serve you and to bring value into your life. So I'm really grateful to do that. Number one is trustworthiness. And when you look at trustworthiness, what it means to be trustworthy, or what it means to give a sense of that people can trust you, right? It really encompasses how do you see yourself and how balanced of a person you are. So trustworthy is people that come in contact with you, that come to work with you or come to build a relationship with you in different ways, they feel that they can trust you. And I believe that this really comes from being balanced. And how the way that Dr. Hartman described it, or he put it together, the trustworthiness come from balance, being balanced with your valuing relationship, being balanced with your valuing your work, and being balanced with valuing your ideas and being strategic. So being balanced in those skill set with people, processes, and tasks and strategy, and being able to inspire that trust in people. When they come to you, they say, I really like this person, and not just like the person, but I really feel that I can trust you. And that trust is so important, because if people don't trust you, people don't feel safe around you, people don't feel that they can share their ideas with you freely, you really putting yourself at a spot where you're going to have some challenges with building relationship with people, much less leading, people. And that trust really starts again from owning it from within. If you don't trust yourself for what kind of choices you are making for your life, and what kind of choices you are making daily for yourself, and it includes your health, your relationship, includes your work, how balanced you are, where do you spend your energy, are you passionate about your life, or are you just getting by, so to speak, through the motion? So this trust starts from within. Are you trusting yourself? Are you seeing yourself as you're living your life to your full potential? So this trust, this balance starts from within. So if you're not trusting yourself, how can you expect other people trust you? So let's really look into that and become, more inspired to be more trustworthy and generate more trust for ourselves from within, and then showcase that authentically through, being who we are into others. And then others will be like magnetically, drawn into that and say, I really want to know more about you. What is it about? And it doesn't really fall into where you are in life. You may be a very young person, and I've met some young people that were very interesting. And I said, I really interested what you're about, and I really trust your value, your opinion, your perspective. So that's really important. I believe that number one is being trustworthy. And I have some people joining in and saying hello. I'm really excited. Have Roger saying hi, Jana. Hi, Roger. Thank you for watching the children for me. I appreciate it. Ed saying hi. Hello, Ed from California. Good to see you. Thank you for joining in. And Hosea, hello from Seattle. Hi, Hosea. So excited to see you here. So then let's go into number two, the most important skill, most important leadership skill to help you to be more successful is ability to inspire. And that ability to inspire comes again twofold, and it's going to be very interesting. We will talk about this throughout our conversation. It starts with you, right? How can you have desire or thoughts that you can inspire others if you yourself have challenges with inspiring yourself? So I want you to think about that and say, when were you inspired to really go and do something different, or to really go and being passionate about what you do? So having this inspiration to try something new, to be a leader to yourself. So this ability to inspire yourself to do something that you believe is making difference in your life and making difference and bringing value into other people's lives is really valuable, because then as you becoming inspired and you becoming on this mission, then you also will magnetically and automatically will attract others, and you will have and you will develop and grow this ability to inspire other people as well. And this really starts with caring, compassion, and empathy. I want you to just make an inventory. How do you speak to yourself? Sometimes the way we talk to ourselves is very, very negative. And we have this high expectation of ourselves. We are unhappy about what we've done or where we are, or we're unhappy about where we are in our career, or maybe with your business. Your business is very challenging right now and you're unhappy about certain things. So give yourself, first of all, the compassion, the empathy, and caring. And then as you become more caring towards yourself, then consider that a lot of people right now, especially in this uncertain situation, uncertain times, going through a lot of difficult things and struggling. So having this compassion and really true care that comes from your heart, not kind of a made up, I'm showing up, I'm caring, but I really don't. It will go a long way for people to see you as a leader. And also I see that personal counselor and having the ability to solve your own problems. And again, this leadership is a two sides of a coin. You need to become best at talking to yourself and finding ways how to solve your problems. Sometimes we as adults act as children, and when we face a problem, when we face a difficulty, when we face the situation that is really requires a lot of effort from our side and really, really uncomfortable, and a lot of it transpires in the relationships, we tend to run away from solving that problem because we know it's going to be painful and it's not going to be pleasant. And we tend to, and I don't know if you can relate, but I was in that place looking back a few years ago when I was struggling in my relationship, I would rather blame. I would rather find a way to complain. And then I would numb myself either by going buy myself a cake, or I'm going to spend money on a credit card, spend on things that I don't really need and spending money I don't really have, to try to numb this void or numb this fear or numb the uncertain things. So being the counselor for yourself and really learning how to solve your own problems, finding solutions and stepping out and mending the relationships and mending the things that you do need to mend, the work on things that you need to work, but you just don't work on them, is really going to help you through. It's going to be a breakthrough for you. And this is not like an overnight thing, because we're people of habits. It really takes a journey. It really takes time for you to be dedicated to find a way of solving maybe one problem at a time. And we all have different kinds of problems that we're facing every day. And then also I want to say, ability to inspire ties in a lot to your self-esteem. How do you see yourself? Because if you see yourself that you're just no one, that you're just one of a kind, you're just one of a billion, and you're just here, and there's so many other people that have brilliant ideas and they have a lot to say, but who are you? So if you see yourself as such, which I can tell you you're not, you are unique, you are amazing, you are valuable, you have a lot of experiences and skill set. You just see yourself, you do value in yourself. So your value is over here and you see yourself over here. Your self-esteem is suffering. And sometimes it's setbacks. Sometimes it's people's opinions. Sometimes it's judgment of other people that we come across that can set us up, but it's self-talk as well. So when you see yourself below, what your value true is, then your self-esteem is going to suffer. You're going to have challenges to inspire yourself, and much, much, much less you would want to inspire others. So I want to encourage you to really give yourself reevaluation. Give your self-esteem your evaluation and see that you are very valuable. So let's move on. Number 3, most important skill for leadership, I believe, is resilience. And actually, you mentioned that you have a lady that has a whole workshop on resilience. And I know there is a gentleman that also does a lot of work on resilience. I think his name is Brooks Gibbs. He's talking about resilience in kids, how kids can be resilient and stand against bullying. And I love his approach, because a lot of things that going around bullying is saying bullies have to stop. This outside of us things have to stop so we, the victims, can feel secure and good. Now, Brooks is teaching that it's not about trying to force outside things to stop and people outside of you to change. It is about changing your own perspective, and it is about being resilient to things and to circumstances and to situations and even to people's opinions. So developing this resilience, I feel so important. I love his work. I'm learning from him a lot, teaching how we can be more resilient, teaching our children how they can be more resilient. I believe this is a very important skill just in life and very important for leadership. So resilience really coming also from problem solving energy. How much energy do you have to solve your problems and maybe help others solve their problems? And when your energy is drained, when you are so worried or you are so anxious or you are so concerned or you are just complaining all the time, you're draining your energy. So when you are an upbeat, when you're like, okay, I'm ready. What am I going to do? What I'm going to solve? Let's solve the problems. They find solutions. I'm even talking to children, my children, when they have arguments. I say, okay, let's talk about argument, but let's not focus on who did what. Let's find solution. So let's become solution oriented, find problems for our solution. And it's funny because now they're coming back and telling me, my son, 5-year-old, coming back to me and saying, Mommy, you cannot raise voice at me. It is not a solution. Let's find solutions. And I agree with you. I need to work on that. So resilient, let's be more resilient. Let's find where there's a lot of resources. And Ad is putting over here actually saying that it's Sandy Ash, check her out, go out and check. She has a lot of researches and she's co-author of Roar. So she has a lot of work on resilience. You can certainly look, if you want to pick that skill and work on that, that would be a really good one for you to succeed, not just as a leader, but overall in life. And we all need to be more resilient through these tough times that we're in right now. Number four is courage. So the skill of courage, I would love to hear you. What do you think? What courage means to you? What it means to be courageous, right? We can look at people who are courageous putting their life online. We'll look at military people. You know, a lot of military people, they sacrifice their lives. They put their lives at risk. They courageously go out and they protect our freedom and protect our country, putting their lives at risk and being courageous. Now, how can you and I be courageous in our everyday life and also as looking at as ourselves as our leaders? So really, it's looking at the role that you see yourself in. If you, again, it's coming back twofold. How do you see yourself in the world? The role that you believe you play in this world. If you feel that who you are and the role that you play in this world is insignificant, you're going to say, well, why? I don't have anything to contribute. Why? Who am I? You're going to doubt yourself. You're going to have this unbelief, self-doubt, negative talk. I want you to break through with that. And I want you to see that you are placed in this world, you were born in this world, you're living in this world for a reason. And when you overcome your self-negative, defeatist conversation from within and see yourself as a valuable, unique, amazing member of society that you can serve and you can courageously lead yourself and others toward the goals, toward solving the problems, toward finding solutions to, your own problems or your own difficulties, as well as helping other people to do that, and maybe helping some societal problems in our society. And also talking about how you're dealing with change. I feel courageous people, when change comes, they say, let's figure things out. Change is uncomfortable. And there are different people on the spectrum. Some people say, I'm okay with change, and I'm this change driver. I say, I'm okay with change. I love change. Let's learn something new. Let's meet new people. Let's change things around. Let's move furniture in the house. So I can be this change driving person. And And sometimes change just for the sake of change is not good either. So you can be on the other spectrum to say, well, why do we need to change? I am very comfortable in my own ways. I am very comfortable in the way my life is, in the way my job is, and how my family is structured. I have very much predictability. Now, I can tell you, you can be as comfortable as you try to be in that situation, but change is inevitable. And we all in this year, I feel, have been shaken by change, unexpectancies, unpredictabilities, uncertainties. All of us are in this together. The whole world is in this together. It is coming from health pandemics and health insecurities to financial situation, to the job insecurities, to trying to figure out how to run a small businesses. My mom is running small business in Moscow, Russia, and she has been, very much disrupted. All of us are in this change, and it is very uncertain. It is very uncomfortable. Now, how does this change related to courage? Now, we have to find the energy and we have to find the power. And I want to encourage you to look around and find the power from within you to be courageous in these uncertain circumstances and say, I am going to work through this. I cannot control a lot of things around us. We cannot control the pandemic situation, but we have certain things that you control. You have certain things that you control. And that is coming from what your attitude is about life. Are you complaining about everything and everyone? Or you're saying, well, this thing that I can control, let me focus on the things I do control. I do want to grow. Let me focus on things that I can build your skill set, develop yourself, meet new people, grow, and be courageous. And even coming up on LinkedIn platform, I spoke with a lot of people and they say, well, I love what you're doing, Jana. You are so great at it. I said, yeah, I am just doing it because I feel the courage I need to inspire you to be more courageous as well. And when we come together on a platform like this, LinkedIn, and be courageous and speaking through our experiences and sharing our lessons, sharing our knowledge, we can courageously lead ourselves and others. So courage is really, really important. And it also ties into speaking openly and honestly, because sometimes it requires being courageous to speak how you see, instead of just being silent. So that's another aspect of it that hopefully will serve you. And I'd also mentioned here, Sandy's LinkedIn as best-selling author of Roar, Resilience Thought Leader. So check her out. Thank you for sharing this ad. I believe this is really important. She implemented ideas to embrace change, manage work-life balance, and being more resilient. She's transforming organizations and being able to speak for yourself. So check out Sandy's work. And if nothing else, if just one thing stands out to you and it's resilience, let's all look into that and find resources. There are a lot of free resources on the internet for any of those skill sets. And we can focus on how to improve in those abilities and skills and how to grow ourselves to really achieve what we want to achieve. And I want to cheer you up. I want to encourage you, and I want to tell you that you could do that. Don't be defeated. Don't look around and say how bad things are. Yes, things are not very good, but we can move forward and we can encourage each other to keep going forward. And I want to shout out to Victoria. Victoria is a friend that I've met on LinkedIn. She has been a peer in the industry. She worked at a relocation company. And Victoria posted something this week that is very courageous. And she really shared her inner struggles and some setbacks that she was dealing with. And I love how people responded. I love how many people resonate with her. And sometimes being raw, being authentic, being truthful, being trustworthy, and being courageous. And when you put yourself out there just as it is and share some thoughts, share some processes that you're going through, some, how you managing through all of these uncertainties, it can inspire and really help others. It can help others to move forward. So I'm really excited for you to keep going. And I want to cheer you toward your success here. So let's move forward. Number 5. Number 5, I feel, is really important. And I'm a little bit biased about it because my values, if you look at 3 skill set that we talked in the beginning a little bit, is relationship, how you see value with relationship, how you see value with tasks, and how you see value with strategies. I am a little bit biased because I value relationship a lot. So number 5 is how you manage and how you invest into relationships. Okay? And why is it so important for leadership? How you manage your relationships. And let's talk first about professional relationships and in your job, right? How you manage your relationships and how you invest into your relationships will either create or take an opportunity from you. And I say that looking back at my career and looking back at where I was several years ago, I was focusing a lot on my immediate small circle of people that I work with, my team and my immediate manager. And I was really good at building relationship with them. I had very good relationship. I like, finding conversation with people, not just professionally, but also personally, building a strong bonds with people. But it was just a small circle. And what I tell you, this year, I spoke with several people. One of those was a brilliant lady that lost her job. And when we had a conversation and, chatted a little bit about how she can go around, how she can position herself and find a better job, she shared that she also had that circle of immediate team that knew about how amazing she was, how much value she brought to the company, how many deals she closed, and how phenomenal she was with her customers. And that small circle was her working team and her manager. And what happened is when the recession and the crisis hit, the company had to restructure, and unfortunately, they had to eliminate her role. And all these amazing things that she has done, an amazing relationship that she has built, are gone with that. And she almost have to start fresh from scratch. So I want to encourage you to not stay in this small circle and take ownership and responsibility in expanding that circle. Expanding that circle, and especially if you're in a lower or entry-level job, if you are a specialist, if you're not managing people, you are just a part of a team, you might think that is just your circle. I want to encourage you to go and start building relationships and asking questions of people of a higher level, and finding a way to have conversations, finding a way to asking questions, and finding a way of asking what is that they like, what have helped them to grow, what have helped them to progress to where they are. And that will give you a lot of insights. And then beyond that, just your company, if you're working within a company right now, is start building relationship with your industry, and then also beyond your industry with people that you admire. You find somebody on LinkedIn that maybe posted something you really admire, and you say, wow, I like that. Reach out to that person and say, I really like what you said. Would you be interested to connect? And then if the person is open to connect, and if you have some time, find a way to get on a Zoom and maybe have a virtual coffee time or a virtual tea time and get to know another person a little bit. So I can talk on and on for hours about the importance of relationships. And I can say why are they important for leadership is when you start building relationships and investing and getting better at it. And I know for some introverts, it may not be as easy, yet I still want to encourage you to push yourself a little bit out of comfort zone, and maybe not expand it to like hundreds of people, but maybe expand a little bit at a time, expand your circle a little bit at a time. So it's noticing, sensing, and awareness. When you start building relationship with different kinds of people, people that are in your industry, people that are above your level, what I want you to focus on is noticing what is special about this person, also being aware, asking question, and sensing what is helping this person to be as successful as they are. And then finding something that you can incorporate in your own life, and then something that you can maybe share with others. So if you found an advice from someone, you had a conversation, and maybe you even read or watched something and you found something that is very helpful, share it and say, this has helped me. So if it has helped you, it's most likely going to help other people as well. And then what is important in building relationship, we are very much drawn to people that are similar like we are. They're similar and talk like we are, have similar belief systems as we are. They're very much aligned with how we are and who we are. So I want to encourage you to start building relationship with people that are different than you are. And then also building tolerance toward different ideas and being open to listen. You don't have to argue. We don't have to argue. We can have different belief system. I have faith. I believe in God, but I can also speak with a person that doesn't believe, in God, and have other belief system, and have respect for that person and say, that's an interesting point of view. And I don't have to argue about this, just absorbing and be open and realizing that your perspective is just one side, and then all other people have different kinds of perspective, different kind of experiences, different kind of skill set and wisdom that they have developed, and being open to listening and being open to receiving that will serve you and help you move forward and become more relationship savvy. Think about how you can enhance your relationship. Find a way to serve people. Find a way to add value to people. I love what John Maxwell, and he's a guru on leadership, you may know him. John Maxwell said, I was listening to his presentation the other day, and I love how he said that his passion and how he sees what most important in his life is valuing people, valuing all sorts of people, thinking about how to add value to people, and then actually going out and adding value to people. So doing that every day. So I felt this is so profound that I really wrote it down for myself. And I said, I want to be like this. I want to value all sorts of people that I meet. I want to think about how can I add value to people around me? Can I give them maybe a piece of advice? Can I maybe encourage them? Maybe can I, just support them in some way? Can I refer and connect them with someone that can help them? And then actually going out and doing that every day. This is, I really like this. I really like incorporating that. Now I have a couple more notes here. We have being vulnerable. This is Janelle saying being vulnerable opens the door for others to be vulnerable as well. Janelle, I agree with you. I agree with you that it gives authenticity and help us build that trust, right? And invites people to be open with each other. It's really, really good. And then Janelle also saying being open to other perspectives, being willing to try them on is such a great leadership quality. I agree that it is when we open, and I say we all have these people that we're inspired by. We are like amazed about this person. And what I like about it is sometimes, again, going back to leaders may have a title behind their name, but then it's all about personal traits almost. Because if that person loses his title, do people still see him as a leader? Do still people follow and admire that person and want to learn from that person, want to be like that person? Or when the title is gone, when the title is taken away, then nobody remembers. And they're like, well, he's here, he was here, and now he's gone. So Ifel, this is really a measurement. Now, the exciting thing is that you don't have to have a title to be a leader, to see yourself as a leader. and to have the thought leadership. So we have two more, and I will wrap them up very quickly for you, so I will be honoring your time. So number 6, ability to plan and execute. I feel this is really, really important. Ability to plan and execute are tied into your strategic skill set. And it was interesting for me to find out, a lot of people talk about strategies, yet the strategies and how to develop a strategic skill set is mainly taught in some, maybe what leadership workshops that were not, but they're not taught. I feel in schools they need to be taught. I feel they need to be taught like in high school and in the beginning of college. We need to be more embracing this idea of stopping ourselves, stopping our business, being busy, running, and giving ourselves time to process, to think through, and to execute, and to start developing those executive skill set, strategic skill set that can help us plan and help us execute. And what also can help you is seeing strategy and getting results. And if you look to any business owner, they say, well, it's good that you're talking about processes. It's good you're talking about building relationship. It's all good. It's all wonderful. Show me the results, right? Show me what results you've got. So it is important that we all look at it from that perspective. What is the problem? How can we solve that problem? And how can we get the best possible results? So that is your ability to plan, and your ability to see a big picture, and your ability to execute on that plan successfully. This is really a big, important ability and skill set that I feel will serve each one of us to grow and develop. And this goes back to personal problems. We can have personal problems that we're pushing away and swiping under the rug and pretending they're not existing. And it can be our professional problems. If you're running a business, it can be your cash flow. You can say, in this economy, how can I figure out to keep cash coming when nobody's buying and nobody's spending money? And Ed, I want to give you a shout out. You have been amazing in showing off on how to pivot, and really from doing a lot of in-person events, taking these relationships, your wealth, I say wealth of relationships that you've built over the many years, and pivoting to virtual, and now doing virtual webinars or seminars where you invite people, have conversations, where you invite people to present, and you invite people to also sponsor you, and by doing that, you creating a new streams of income for yourself, and you're also creating a way to deliver value to people. So I really admire that, and I feel that we all have things and problems and struggles that we need to take time to see back, and maybe even have conversations with other people to find a way. This is a problem. How can we approach it strategically from the bigger view, from the bigger perspective, so to speak, from the top? Look at the problem, find solutions, and then execute on them. So don't just think about the problem and how horrible it is. Don't just think about how can you solve it and then stop there, but also execute. So it's a step process. So it really going to serve you. And once you start solving problems for yourself, once you start solving problems within your company, you identify the problem, you're finding, brainstorming, finding a solution, and then you're executing on that solution, you're going to gain results. And those are going to be very attractive to people. And then people are going to say, well, I really like how you solve this problem. I want you to solve that problem, this problem. And then people's going to ask your advice. And it's really going to create a lot of value in your life and in the life of others. And this is very, very important leadership skill that we can all tap into. And the last one, last but not least, is passion to lead. And I tie that in with being passionate. Now, have you met a person that is maybe has a title maybe see themselves as a leader, yet they have little no passion. They're very mundane, so to speak. That person may be just going through the motion of in job, doing a good job, but just going through the motion. And the energy around that type of person is kind of a draining. I don't know how you've experienced that, but I've experienced that, and it's kind of a draining energy versus to a person or a leader that is passionate not only about what they do, they're also passionate about life. They are excited and passionate about helping others. And I've met that person in my previous job. I did not report to that person. His name was Michael. I just admired him. He has this passion about finding ways, learning, and then he would talk to people that don't even report to him and say, how can you improve? Look at this, consider this. Can you develop that skill set that can help you grow? It's just being passionate about life in general, being passionate about your own life and your own growth, your own achievement, the value that you bring to where you are, and being passionate about other people, tying into what John Maxwell said, value other people, and coming and being passionate about those people, because what you value, you kind of passionate about. If you value your fancy car, you're going to be passionate about it. You're going to be keeping it in place, riding it with pride. What you're passionate about, you like talking about, and you value that thing. So I want to encourage you to be passionate about your own life, first of all, about your skill set. Passionate about leading yourself to success. Don't feel that you're doomed and gloomed and where you are right now is a hard time and that is all that you got. I want you to start reviving that passion from within, that energy. And some people say I'm too much. Sometimes I know I'm too much, too much passionate. So sometimes maybe I need to top it down a little bit in certain circumstances. But I still like it. I like meeting people. I like learning about people. I want to create, something of value in my personal life. I want to create something of value in your life. I'm passionate about you coming here and spending time with me and making these amazing comments. Ad is saying, stressed out, move the goal line further back. So Ad, thank you for showing up here, and thank you for encouraging and supporting me. And I also have Janelle saying, I love understanding people beyond the title. Titles come and go. I agree with you, Janelle. So this passion is coming from also focusing on things that are important to you, focusing on things that you value, and then creating this energy. It's almost like empowerment. Passion ties to me to empowerment. Feeling empowered from within about who you are, about your experiences, about your skill set, about your value that you bring to the world, your value that you bring to people you work with, the value that you bring to your family. Feeling good about yourself. That is passion. And that's really... what's the right word to say? It's when you have sickness and you get it. Here, my word is escaping me. It's contagious. Here you go. It's contagious in a good way, because we have this horrible virus that is contagious that we have to mask out and sit home and don't, stay too close to any other people. Stay away from me. I don't want you too close in my business. It's contagious. It's a bad thing. We want to stay away from it. Now, let's all be contagious of passion. Let's all be contagious, having this contagious enthusiasm, have contagious empowerment that we would create from within to really enjoy our life, to find joy in simple things, and then spread it around and make that contagious. That would be, I think, phenomenal. So those are my 5 most important skills. I hope they've served you. I hope that they have delivered value to you. I just want to say I'm very grateful to have this opportunity to have conversation with you today. And thank you for joining in and encouraging me and supporting me. And I do believe that when we grow, when we invest in ourselves, when we see our value in this world and unapologetically come and share our goodness, our good passion, our good energy, our good enthusiasms with others, we can make a big impact into this world. And we can make that good energy, positive energy contagiously spread around. And we can also change this world. So let's do it. Let's do it this coming week. I want to cheer you on. Thank you, Ad, for your cheers. Thank you, Janelle, for your support. I'm really honored to be here with you. And I see you next week. Stay tuned. There's going to be a good stuff coming in your way. And keep powering unique you.